Quant Network QNT is just getting started. And how can you make over $65,000 per year staking your Quant Network QNT? Well, that is a question that we're going to answer in today's video. Yes, you can potentially make over $178 per day staking QNT once the staking platform is released. And I'm going to show you why in today's video. So this video is very important if you own Quant Network QNT because we are just getting started. Quant Network has a bright future, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can make life-changing passive income with Quant Network in this video. But real quick, if you like Quant Network, if you hold Quant Network, or if you don't, and this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe and make sure you join us because we speak about hidden gems like Quant Network QNT every single day, and other good cryptocurrencies as well, like Hedera HBAR, XRP, XLM, other good cryptocurrencies as well. So that is why you want to subscribe real quick. It takes 1 second. Join us right now and tap the like button so more people can see this video. And this video is very important if you own QNT in your portfolio. Now, just yesterday, Binance released their brand new staking platform for QNT where you can earn about 3% per year. That is good. I like to see that, but that is not the point of today's video, okay? That is just what happened yesterday. But I want to go through this exercise right here. And this is a good thread from this guy, Greg Lunt. He is an investor in QNT, and he talks and tweets a lot about QNT. So shout out to him. But we're going to go through this thread, and it's going to take a few minutes. But this is very important if you own QNT, and you want to watch this and share this video with other people that you know that own QNT, so they can also get an idea of the type of money that they can make with staking their QNT in the next few years. So let's just jump into it. Let's just jump into it right away because this is very important. Okay, so you may have seen Quant surpass 65,000 wallets this week. And actually right now we're over 72,000. And just yesterday we made a video about how, I know I said let's just jump into it, but I'm going to plug my video from yesterday. Just yesterday we talked about how if you own just one Quant Network QNT, you're in the top 0.02% of the whole cryptocurrency world. So it's not the top 1%. You're in the top 1/50th of 1% if you own Quant Network QNT. So that's how early we are. So yeah, right now we don't have 65,000, we have 70,000, but still we're very early. But anyways, let's just jump into it, and I promise I won't interrupt the thread again, but let's keep going. Okay, so you may have seen Quant surpass 65,000 wallets this week, up from 26,000 in last August and 8,000 the August before that. In honor of 65K, it got me thinking, what would it take to generate $65,000 per year in passive income from QNT? And then he continues on to tweet, to start making passive income, we'd first need Quant Network to release community gateways, which has not yet happened, okay? So there's still a lot of good things coming to the Quant Network ecosystem. All transactions on Overledger flow through gateways, and those who run one and I guess he's trying to say run a node and stake their QNT will be rewarded for every transaction their gateway processes. Let's do the math. The target is $65,000 per year. That's how much we're trying to make. So we can, quit our job and call our boss and say, hey, I'm not working for you no more, Bill. I'm done. Hang up, But anyways, which equates to $178 per day. Assumption number one, 70% of all QNT tokens get staked, which is around 10 million tokens. And I could see that happening. Assumption number two, gateways pay out 1/100th of a cent, which is 0.0001 per transaction, which is really low. So again, I also see that happening. That's pretty realistic. It's not like he's saying, oh, gateways pay out $1 per transaction, which is too high. This is 1/100th of 1 cent, okay? And assumption number three would be that the Overledger processes 100 billion transactions per day. Now that sounds like a lot, and we will get back to it at the end of this video. So this is very important to watch all the way through. So those are three assumptions. Number one is that 70% of QNT tokens get staked. Assumption number two is that the gateways pay out 1/100th of a cent per transaction, which is reasonable. And assumption number three is that the Overledger processes 100 billion transactions per day, which we will get to at the end of the video. So those are three assumptions to keep in mind. So 100 billion Overledger transactions per day times the fee that you get per transactions equal about $10 million in total transaction fees per day. 10 million total transaction fees per day divided by 10 million staked QNT equals $1 per staked QNT per day, which if you have a target of $178 per day, if you take that target of 178 and you divide it by the amount, which is $1 staked per QNT per day, you will need about 178 QNT staked. Now, everyone's target is different. So if you're trying to make $200 per day, you would need 200 QNT staked. Or if you're trying to make just $50 per day, you would need 50 QNT staked. So if your target is more, well, you need more QNT. If your target is less, you would need less QNT. But this is just for this exercise, to brainstorm and to think about how much money we can make. So in this scenario, users staking 178 QNT could make $65,000 per year from their gateway, which is good. It's really good for those people that are just trying to look for passive income. They can just sit back, relax, and enjoy. It may even be lower than 178 to start, as your QNT would compound over the course of the year, assuming you restake your transaction fees towards your gateway. Okay, so if you restake, you can also accumulate more QNT over the years, and you would need less QNT. So that's reasonable as well. Now, assumption number 1 and 2, 70% of QNT staked and 1/100th of a cent per transactions are fairly realistic in my opinion. Assumption number 3, 100 billion transactions per day is where the faith lies in the exercise. So for comparison's sake, Visa and MasterCard currently combine for about 1 billion transactions per day. So it kind of does seem kind of crazy for QNT to do 100 billion transactions per day, but it is possible. And again, we will get to it at the end of this video, okay? So keep watching. So is it possible for the Overledger to 100x Visa plus MasterCard's volume? The answer is yes, assuming it's a winning interoperability solution in a hyper DLT world, because CBDCs will all be running off of DLTs. So if Quant Ledger and Quant Network can connect to all the CBDCs around the world, imagine how many billions of transactions will happen per day on the Quant Network. Remember, DLTs are not just about payments. Eventually, they'll represent every microtransactions occurring online. And 10 to 15 years from now, nearly all digital systems will be tokenized and require DLT interoperability to function. Every ad that's served, every song that's streamed, every message that's sent. Tokenization will reshape the world similar to how the internet did. So imagine, I would say the average person goes and refreshes their page. Every time you go to a new video on YouTube, or you search something on Google, or you check your email, that's one refresh, that's one transaction. Think of it as one transaction. So the average person probably does 100, if not thousands of transactions per day. So multiply that by the 7 to 8 billion people in the world. So we're quite literally doing almost 1 trillion transactions per day on the internet, minimum. Okay. So that is basically how the network DLT systems will operate in the future. So there's enough transactions to go around, and Overledger reaching 100 billion per day is simply a matter of market share. Partnering with Oracle, which has 400,000 customers, Nexi Group, 1,000 financial institutions, and LackChain, 15 countries looking to build their CBDC, is certainly a strong start. And this is just the beginning for Quant Network QNT. With that level of volume, the price of QNT would likely be substantial. So while $65,000 a year may seem like a lot, it actually wouldn't be that much compared to the value of the 150 to 175 QNT you'd need to actually run the gateway that generates those fees. And And what do you think? Is 175 QNT a good accumulation target? I want to hear from all of you. Do you think you need more QNT? Do you think you need less? Can Overledger reach 100 billion transactions per day? Let me know your comments down below, okay? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, going back to the 100 billion transactions per day, because that is something a lot of people see, oh, it's impossible for Quant Network to do 100 billion transactions per day. Well, for anyone doubting the viability of 100 billion daily transactions on Overledger, consider this. Amazon Web Services, the cloud, basically handles 750 million transactions per second. That's about 65 trillion transactions per day. So, my analogy, my example given you of every time a person refreshes a page and you multiply that by the world population, gets to at least 1 trillion transactions per day. Well, that right here settles that. Like, Amazon by themselves do 65 trillion transactions per day. So the world probably does quadrillions of transactions per day, okay? And 65 trillion is 650 times more than 100 billion. And that's just on one platform, okay? That's just for Amazon Web Services right here. Literally, Amazon Web Platform right here. As you can tell, they have on their website, right here, this is from Amazon directly. They say how the Amazon Web Services platform team sustains over 750 million transactions per second. That's just in 1 second, everyone, literally in 1 second. So yes, Quant Network can do 100 billion transactions per day. And that is how you can make up to $65,000 per year staking your QNT. And it's over $178. That will literally get you to retire, or you can travel the world, do whatever you want. And that's not taking into consideration the capital appreciation of Quant Network, because by that time, institutional investors like big money will want to hold Quant Network for the passive income. So Quant Network, instead of being at $200, can be at $20,000, at $50,000, and way, way more. We have done so many price prediction videos on this channel. So that's another reason why you want to subscribe, join us right now, and tap the like button so more people can see this video, because Quant Network has a bright, bright future. And that is how you can make $65,000 per year staking your QNT Quant Network.